Welcome to everyone, family, partners, friends around the world who have joined us today to celebrate the School of Cinematic Arts Class of 2020. Congratulations to you, the graduates. Today is indeed a day to celebrate. And of course, we also look forward to being able to congratulate you all at an in-person ceremony when that is possible. You are indeed a remarkable group. Not only have you completed a rigorous curriculum, but for the last 2 months, you have done so under very challenging circumstances. You've shown yourselves resilient and nimble, able to pivot and adapt in ways that no doubt will serve you very well in the years to come. We're very proud of you. But perhaps even more importantly, we are confident in your ability to invent the world of the future. We know that you can create the narratives and that you can understand the power that media in all its forms has to shape our society. So today, we can be optimistic because we can trust you as makers and scholars to help create a better, more enlightened world. You leave with very powerful tools at your command, and we feel confident that you will use them well. Congratulations, Class of 2020. And now to continue our celebration, I will ask Akira Lippett, Vice Dean of Faculty, to come to the screen.
Congratulations, Class of 2020. You have endured and persevered and achieved so much, and I hope you will recognize the singular, remarkable achievement that you have now just completed. Usually at this time of year, we gather together to celebrate our students, to thank the faculty who have taken this journey with you, and also to recognize a member of the School of Cinematic Arts staff for his or her contribution during that year. The School of Cinematic Arts staff is among the most remarkable anywhere of any institution. Each of them expert in her or his field, no two doing the same job, and without their contributions, we simply would not be able to provide what we think we do here at the School of Cinematic Arts. However, under these circumstances, I would like this year to recognize on behalf of the School of Cinematic Arts, all of the members of our School of Cinematic Arts staff. They have always displayed incredible talent, commitment, dedication to everything that happens. But under these circumstances, they have risen above and revealed not only their unique gifts, but in fact, the incredible depth of their character. I hope you will join me in thanking and recognizing this singularly talented and committed group. Thank you. Congratulations again, Class of 2020. You're awesome. And now I'll send it back to Dean Daly.
Thank you so much, Aki. And now it is a great pleasure to welcome School of Cinematic Arts alumna Leslie Iwerks, an Academy Award and Emmy-nominated producer and director for a long list of quite remarkable documentaries, including The Imagineering Story, The History of the Disney Parks, The Pixar Story, and League of Legends Origins, about the USC alumni who created the most popular online game in the world. Leslie is also the granddaughter of Walt Disney's partner, Iwerks, who gave Mickey his shape and invented the multiplane camera. When we hold our in-person commencement ceremony, Leslie will receive the 2020 Mary Pickford Alumni Award. Today, she joins us to offer her congratulations to all of you. Leslie?
Hi, everyone, and congratulations to the newly minted USC Film School graduates. Thank you, Dean Daly and the faculty for honoring me with the Distinguished Alumni Award and for recognizing my career in documentary films. I'm really humbled to get this award, named after Mary Pickford. Film students know Mary's story, but for others, let me share why it's relevant right now. When Mary was age 4, living in Toronto, an infectious airborne disease similar to COVID forced her family to go under quarantine. Not long after, her father died, and Mary's mother, now widowed and poor, needed to take in boarders. As fate would have it, one of them was a theatrical stage manager. By age 6, Mary was a vaudeville actor traveling across the country, and soon she was on Broadway. At this point, movies were a step down, but they paid better, so she risked her Broadway career to make them. At 22, she did what you all will do. She wrote a script that made critics rave and audiences cheer. She became America's sweetheart. Her next contract gave her half the profits of the film. Charlie Chaplin called her Bank of America's sweetheart. Then she took her biggest risk. With Chaplin, Douglas Fairbanks, and D.W. Griffith, she launched United Artists Film Studio. The legacy that Mary left as a woman in Hollywood is indelible. We know that the privilege of working in the film industry is always uncertain. My message to you is to embrace it. That, in fact, is a legacy of my family. In 1923, when my grandfather, Iwerks, was 22 and living in Kansas City, Missouri, his childhood friend, Walt Disney, asked him to join him in Hollywood as an animator and partner in a new cartoon startup called the Disney Brothers Studio. Like Mary Pickford, Ub was the sole provider for his mother. He borrowed a car, uprooted his life, and drove on a long dirt road to Hollywood. On my office wall today is an enlarged frame photo that he took of this very road leading to an uncertain future. Within 3 years, he would design and animate Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, create hundreds of short cartoons that would entertain millions of people during the Great Depression, invent breakthrough film technology, and win numerous Academy Awards, all because he ventured down an uncertain path. I grew up inspired by his success. When I was in high school, I had a little holiday business painting cartoon characters on storefront windows. Over the next few years, one store led to hundreds, and with money earned, I bought some offline editing equipment, a camera, and made wedding videos and corporate films. Then I got into USC. It was my dream. I have no memory of weekends during my film school days, probably much like you guys. No football games, no trips to the beach. It was work, create, until it was no longer work. We were the first class to transition from analog to digital editing with Avid. The industry was in upheaval, and there was plenty of uncertainty, but I loved every minute of it. So much of those strenuous years of trial and error shaped how I went forward. When I graduated, I was hell-bent on going into live action directing, but I was passionate about one particular story that had never been told. And the only way to make it was as a documentary. The irony was, I never made a single documentary film at USC or even took a class in it. Damn, that was a miss. The story of my grandfather became my first feature doc. It was personal to me, and it sparked my love for the genre. I look for more stories to tell because you will never know where they will lead you. Next, I found myself filming in the trash, literally, documenting the thousands of families living and working inside the largest garbage dump in Central America. It was hard, it was dangerous, it took years, and the film's fate was nebulous at best. People thought I was crazy, wasting my time, but I really believed in it. And less than a decade after graduating USC, that short doc, Recycled Life, was nominated for an Academy Award. Go figure. Since then, I've documented the health concerns and corruption in the Canadian oil sands industry and investigated fake news coming from teenagers in Macedonia. I think it's important to stay scrappy. Grab a camera and go. Have fun and follow a story that's important to you. From what I'm hearing now, some of the work you all have created during this pandemic, from your homes, on your iPhones, editing remotely, has been some of the most inspired work the faculty has seen. The history of art is filled with examples of people creating great work under constraint. William Shakespeare apparently wrote King Lear and Macbeth during the Plague of London. We are in the golden age of documentary films, and with the proliferation of streaming sites, needing content, technology at your fingertips, there's no better time to be crafting stories. The world needs truth more than ever, as well as hope, comedy, and inspiration. You can bring it. You are the next generation of filmmakers coming out of the best film school in the world. I'm getting emotional just saying this, the best film school in the world. Celebrate that. Don't worry about what hasn't happened or what could have been. Focus forward and innovate. Know that the higher you aim, the more you can accomplish. The road ahead is unpaved, bumpy, dusty. You can't see the finish line, no problem. You'll get there. Just drive and be driven. Congratulations.
Thank you, Leslie. I am so looking forward to recognizing your incredible body of work when we can present the Mary Pickford Award to you in person. And now it is a great pleasure to welcome the man who is to be our official 2020 graduation speaker, director, producer, screenwriter, John Chu, another School of Cinematic Arts graduate. Today, John is here to congratulate our graduates, and he will be back with us at our in-person ceremony to deliver his full commencement address. Please welcome to the screen, John Chu, the director of Crazy Rich Asians and the about to be released In the Heights.
Good evening, everybody. I'm not wearing pants. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. It is an honor to be here with you as a commencement speaker today and all of your families that are watching. Now, they say you never remember your graduation commencement speaker or what they say, and that'll probably be true today. Probably because half of this you won't even be able to hear through the Zoom. But I had an amazing commencement speaker when I graduated USC that I actually do remember. It was Ron Howard, yes, the Oscar-winning director of Apollo 13 and Beautiful Mind, and his speech about the importance of optimism in storytelling profoundly affected me and my career. To know that there were good people in this business that wanted to send positive stories into the world set a higher bar for who I wanted to be. So in January this year, when Dean Daly called me to ask if I would speak to you all, it was a dream come true. And amazingly, I just so happened to be editing my movie In the Heights, which comes out next summer. And guess who was editing down the hall? Ron friggin' Howard. I was so psyched the next time I passed him in the hallway, just casually with my coffee. I think he thought I was the intern that day. But I told him how much his speech meant to me in 2002, and he couldn't have been kinder all these years later. And then Corona came into town and changed everything. So rather than the Shrine Auditorium, I'm here talking to you in a corner of my house, hiding from my kids. True story. I locked the door. And I had and nothing staged here. This is real. That is literally an IKEA filing cabinet, just to remind everyone that sometimes things never change. But anyway, so I had to rewrite everything and meet you here where we all are. And the reality is it kind of fits, as you can see, with all the technical difficulties. That the dirty secret of what we do here in Hollywood is things don't go as you planned, ever. And that's okay. So you lean in and you say it was all on purpose in press interviews, because we are storytellers and we take what we have and where we're at and we make a record of it, a piece of emotional software that allows others into our storms so we can tell them they are not alone in theirs. They aren't, and you aren't, because we're here. And you probably think I'm going to talk about representation, because I talk about that a lot these days. And that's the speech I give to executives at studios who need to hear it. But you guys, everyone at home right now, you are the storytellers. You are the representation. So I want to talk to you about survival, because we're going to need you. I want to talk about the real stuff, to hear things I wish I knew back then, because you're about to enter into the adventure of your life. And under these circumstances, more than any generation before you. First thing to realize is you are not a film director. You are not a sound editor. You are not a cinematographer. If you went to this school, you are all storytellers first. The medium in which you execute is second. You are stewards of great story. You are emotional engineers that can be used in any profession you choose after this. You are not a failure if you don't end up making movies. Let me repeat that, it's very important. You are not a failure if you don't end up making movies. Movies are one part of a huge fabric of storytelling. And don't let anyone tell you, especially yourself, differently. You can design an audio experience at a museum or design a label for a drink company that tells a story. You have mastery of the one greatest language of all, human empathy and connection. And that is an incredibly valuable skill. It is what passes knowledge to the next generation. There are no algorithms for that. You can't pass a test to achieve this. You just have to be curious and then make things. Simple as that. So stay open to those storytelling opportunities. You'll be surprised how many doors are available to you when you change that perspective. For me, it happened when I received a script for a direct-to-DVD dance movie sequel that I thought I was too good to do. You see, when I first graduated SC, Spielberg saw my short film and bought a project from me. And then when that happens, the whole town comes calling. So I got attached to movies at all studios at 22 years old. But as time wore on, as this town does, none of them went into production, none. It eventually took 5 years to make my first movie, but that doesn't show up on my IMDb page. I rarely talk about it because people don't want to know how hard and painful those 5 years were. But I figured out and I survived. And when I finally got sent that script for a direct-to-DVD dance movie sequel, I said no, even though I had nothing going on, because I kept telling myself, I don't do direct-to-DVD movies. And then my mom said, when did you become a snob? In that exact voice. And then if I were a true storyteller, I could take any story and make it compelling, even if it was by a campfire. That's what storytellers do. They tell stories. They don't just think about them. So like a good son, I took the movie and it became a $159 million worldwide hit that launched my directing career. And since then, I've been lucky enough to do commercials, music video, live tours. I even did a Virgin America airline safety video that played for 6 years. I'm never bored with what I'm making. I'm always a beginner in a new genre or medium. And probably like you, my creative brain never feels better than trying not to drown. So trust your weird path. People will try to put you in a box, but keep doing your thing. As you grow and get better, your story will attract jobs to you instead of the other way around. Chris McCrory said on Twitter, become an asset to be acquired. I love that, which gets me to the second piece I wish I knew. Be in love with craft. Be in love with the process. And as you make things, no one can deny master craftsmanship. They can't control that, and you can. You have an iPhone, you can edit, you can put it online. It's all sharpening your tools, but be careful not to focus on the results. For your journey, it's not about how many hits or how many reviewers like it, it's just getting better. Also, appreciate the patience of your loved ones, the people sitting next to you right now, or you have invited to watch this graduation with. Those who have to live with you or support you. Don't take advantage of that or take it for granted. They're trusting you with their time and their lives. You owe it to them not to give up. And parents, relatives, friends, I see you. Be patient with our little artists. Love them. They're going to need it because this process comes with a lot of storms to endure. Recently, I went to the Tyler Perry studio opening in Atlanta, which is incredible. And he said, you will never be like me because you haven't, and you will never weather my storms. You will have your own, but don't run from your storms. It will lead you to your mountain. I love that. He said, hang on and embrace the ride because the pressure can be too much. I recognize that. Many days I feel frozen just staring at my ceiling. Yeah, I do that too. And this is the last thing I'll say. And maybe one thing that I wish film school would focus more on is take care of yourself. Maintaining your mental and physical health is really important and a part of filmmaking. Eat right, think right. I've never felt more alone than being fired off of a project or when my movie is getting torn up by critics, dreading to read those words and then the condolences. The pressure to make your perfect choices, like maybe what are you going to do right now? What's your first movie? What's your first script? Where are you going to intern? It can be overwhelming. But like everything, as if everything's on the line. But people who've been around and what you'll eventually know is that this is an illusion. Nothing is permanent. You just have to start making decisions one by one. I didn't know Crazy Rich Asians would be something that would have to define a whole culture of people. Had I known, I wouldn't have ever started. I just knew I needed to make a movie about an Asian American going to Asia for the first time because that felt very personal to me. Using the Kina Grannis song, Can't Help Falling in Love, at the wedding scene was my parents' first dance song at theirs. Aquafina's line, "Bok Bok Bitch," was made up on the set. And even Eleanor's line to Rachel, "You will never be enough," and the mahjong scene always felt strong, but I never thought there would be articles written about it. And now each of these things are iconic in that movie. Had I known what each meant or what it was gonna mean, I wouldn't even know how to begin. And so it's important that you begin and begin again and again and again. So you're being forged, like The Last Dance, which I'm obsessed with. Every challenge is defending your world champion status. And also, this is a team sport, so you're gonna need each other. The best thing that came out of USC Film School were my lifelong friends. Alice Brooks, who shot my short film 18 years ago, just shot In the Heights for me. Ryan Landells, Avi Wabian, Jason Russell, Dana Fox. These are some of my closest friends that work in the business, and we survived together. Even the great Woody Omans and Brenda Goodman are still in my life. The USC family is real, so stay close. Because like I said, we need you. You are the storytellers. In fact, you are the most important storytellers right now because you not only understand the technology, but now how we are all globally connected, not in theory, but in practice. And in the inspirational words of my commencement speaker, Ron Howard, back in 2002, he said, and I'm going to quote him here, he said something like, you're going to, what was it that he said?
John,
Oh,
John,
Ron.
I think maybe I better jump in here. I see you're struggling a little bit, and I actually kind of remember what I was saying, so I got it.
Okay,
I got it.
okay. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, but
Ron
by the
Howard,
way,
everybody.
by the way, your work is awesome. I'm a huge fan.
I'll get you that coffee right away.
So I think what John is recalling is a moment in my remarks back then, and I was trying to make a point that I think is as valid today as it was then, maybe even more so. My point was that despite all the challenges that this industry creates, despite the uncertainty, the competition, the anxiety that a career in the cinematic arts is inevitably going to confront you with, well, don't fall into this cynical view that audiences don't want to be challenged, or that successful entertainment is some kind of product. Just don't do that. Don't fall into a manufacturer's mentality. Across all genres, tones, markets, distribution systems, running times, the difference between work that resonates with audiences for years and work that's forgettable is the sustained belief that the stories that you work on, the situations, the places, the characters, the themes that you illuminate through your work reflects you as much as possible, your taste, your sensibilities and judgment. And I'm not just talking about directors, writers, and producers. Every story deserves that kind of conscious commitment from the creative brain trust that makes any story possible. And while, I'm sorry that you have to go through your graduation in this sort of awkward way, at least for the moment, here's what I think is important for you to recognize tonight. This virus is only highlighting the reality of the human experience at this time. We are facing true upheaval. This upheaval is as extreme as the Renaissance or the Industrial Revolution or any other seismic shift that our species has ever faced. And with that comes conflict and strife and questions that cloud people's thinking. And they leave us in the darkness of uncertainty and fear. Questions that some just hide from, and questions that haunt others every waking hour. Now, you know that people have always looked to the storytellers for relief, for diversion, yes, cathartic, dramatic moments, absolutely, journeys of the imagination, sure, but also for insight and relatability, because whatever the tone, no story resonates or frankly even entertains unless it addresses the questions that we are feeling deeply. And that's where you and your work is going to come in. So I want you to think of this graduation, this period of time, as an omen. It's a sign that you are coming of age at a time of particularly great need. Now, I'm going to keep doing what I can. John is certainly doing his part. But I am really confident in all of you. Use what you've learned here at SC and elsewhere. Use the intelligence that got you here in the first place. And by all means, use your hearts. Triangulate those powers, and I can only imagine how much light you can spread that will push back that darkness. So John, Dean Daly, thanks for including me. It's really an honor. And above all, congrats to the class of 2020. Stay safe, be smart, and be well. Take it away, John, and congratulations.
Ron Howard, everybody. How amazing. I bow down to you. The SC family is real, guys. I didn't have his number. I had to get it, and then to his assistant, and he was so kind. So thank you, Ron. 2020, as nutty as it is right now, is your first step into your storm. And like all great storytellers before you, how you navigate through it will define you. I know you will own this moment. I know you are the storytellers we've been waiting for. Pants or no pants. Congratulations, class of 2020. Peace.
Thank you, John. We're all looking forward to seeing In the Heights. And many thanks to our very special Zoom bomber, Ron Howard, who was, as he mentioned, our 2002 commencement speaker. What a treat, Ron, to have you twice. And now to continue, please welcome our Vice Dean of Academic Affairs, Michael Renoff.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. We, the faculty of the School of Cinematic Arts, salute you. We acknowledge your achievements, your arrival at the finish line of your degree programs, and most important of all, your resilience in the face of previously unimagined obstacles. Today, I hope you'll pause to take a few deep breaths and to reflect on what you've managed to accomplish. The faculty have faith in you. We believe the knowledge you've gained and the skills you've perfected will serve you as you pursue your careers. This is not, by the way, blind faith. We've seen evidence of your abilities over the years, and especially during these past months. You've been able to adapt, to pivot, to focus. This resilience will be needed as you take your next steps, but please know you won't be alone. You'll be surrounded by a community, each other, first of all, but also the faculty and staff, as well as thousands of SCA alumni around the world, and you've just heard from 3 of them. We very much hope you'll stay in touch with us and return to share your experience with the next generation of students. And now, to offer his congratulations and good wishes, the chair of the John Wells Division of Writing for Screen and Television, David Isaacs.
Thank you, Michael. Our writers, my fellow writers, congratulations. By God, you made it under the most unusual and trying conditions I know I've ever experienced in my young life. We've all had to adapt to an unpredictable and daunting landscape. The relative good news, though, is adaptability or learning to adapt is everything in our business. Tastes change, the gatekeepers change, the marketplace changes, and you as a creator of content have to adapt to those changes. And it's my belief that your grace under this pressure has fortified you for the long haul, no matter what the challenge. You'll also be the storytellers who, through your characters, will interpret for the world the human impact of what we're all living through now and will live through. That's what we do as screenwriters. We don't report, we present the humanity and thus the underlying truth. What I hope for you most of all is that the scale of this upheaval to your status quo will actually help you shed your caution as a writer. Walk into your career with the idea that the only thing you ever have to lose is not being true to yourself, your beliefs, and your instincts. The last bit of advice I'll lay on you is from one of my comedy writing mentors, the late Larry Gelbart, who co-created the MASH TV series. It's simply this: as a writer, if you are not offending someone, you are not doing your job. Class of 2020, be fearless. It is now my honor to introduce the chair of the John C. Hench Division of Animation and Digital Arts, my dear colleague, Teresa Chang.
Thank you, David. Congratulations, animation class of 2020. We certainly didn't expect this pandemic, which shut down most of our normal activities since mid-March. But it's usually the unexpected that separates those who can do from those who can't. We're a small division, and because of that, I am very lucky that I know every single one of you, not only by name, but by your work and your personality, and most importantly, your strength of character. The faculty and I witnessed how all of you bravely forged ahead, despite all new challenges, sprinting at top speed
to finish this last leg of your marathon. Your resilience and inventiveness were admirable, and there's no question that you embody the Trojan spirit. This situation has brought out the best and the worst in people, but what we saw was the best in you, and we are so very proud of you. You're going out into the world beyond USC with a new layer of body armor, and you have proven that you belong to the can-do side. You are truly remarkable and ready for prime time. I look forward to celebrating with all of you in person when we can have our official commencement. Well done, animation class of 2020. Now, here's Larry Terman, chair of the Peter Stark Producing Program.
Hello. The technological gods have decided to keep what I look like a secret, so I'm down with that. Starkies, this is surely not the graduation or job market you had in mind. On the other hand, you now have all the know-how, all the savvy needed to achieve your creative dreams, and you will. Along the way, though, I actually have some advice for you. Simple it is. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It can be a tough, rough world, tough, rough business, but always maintain your personal integrity. I heartily congratulate you all, Starkies, and I give you each a long-distance hug. Bravo. I want now to introduce the chair of the production program, Mike Fink.
Thank you, Larry. Hello, production division graduates of 2020. You and I are graduating this year. You're moving on to new lives and new careers, and I'm stepping down as chair of production, but stepping up to continue teaching the people I care about greatly, you, the students of the School of Cinematic Arts. You're launching your new lives and careers during one of the most cataclysmic times in the history of the world. And if you think that's hyperbole, it isn't. If there ever was a time to create compelling stories, this is it. And if you wonder if you're up to it, just remember that in the last 4 years, you have produced close to 8,000 short films and 4 features. The opportunities ahead of you will never reveal themselves when least expected. You'll grab these opportunities because you know that your story is what you own. And that's a lot of capital to trade on. It's what makes this wonderful art so fulfilling. For me, and I hope for you, it's never a job, it's a life. And after USC, you play to your strengths. You keep a careful eye on your ethics. You never underestimate the value of doing and saying the things that allow you to sleep at night. Boy, sleep is a critical factor. Even more than that, wash your hands frequently, don't touch your face, and wear a mask when you go out. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Danny Bilson, Chair of Interactive Media and Games Division.
Thank you, Mike. The Interactive Media and Games Division challenges its students to integrate traditions of storytelling with innovations in interactive technology. Under the banner of USC Games, our primary creative collaborations are with the Viterbi School of Engineering, as the computer sciences are the backbone of our art form. This uniquely positions our graduates to lead the next generation of entertainment designers and artists. And this year, on March 11th, USC Games was taken completely online and flourished. Due to the dedication of our tremendous faculty, staff, and most importantly, the students of USC Games, productions were completed on time and to a high level of quality. The program live streamed our end-of-year expo earlier this week. Our students delivered over 50 original interactive experiences into people's homes and were able to share their work with a worldwide audience of over 60,000. Today, graduates have mastered the storytelling skills of the cinematic arts as well as the technical demands of interactive entertainment. and our Games for Health program is graduating students who will go into industry, healthcare, and research with an understanding of how interactive experiences can influence quality of life. And at this time, with our unique ability to connect people who are otherwise separated, our art form can and will continue to be of service. Congratulations to you all. It has truly been an honor. And now I'd like to introduce my friend, Andreas Kratke, Chair of Media Arts and Practice.
Thank you, Danny. I want to congratulate you, class of 2020. You've made your pathway from your first moments in our program all the way to where you are now. You've spent years of gaining, refining, and probing knowledge, skills, and inspiration. It is a great accomplishment to be graduating now, and it is a tremendous challenge. We are seeing a level of insecurity in the entire world that most of us have never seen before. The picture may look grim, but it is also a chance to rethink and redefine how we want to live together and where we set our priorities. This moment has made extremely clear how important it is to have healthcare, to have access to correct and factual information, and to be able to critically reflect on how our society should function. I feel good when I think that these questions will lie in hands like yours. During your time here, you've acquired the ability to make innovative and critical media experiences and foster discourse through digital media. I'm convinced you will apply this knowledge in your new jobs and affect change for the better. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2020. And now I would like to introduce my dear colleague, Tara McPherson, the chair of the Division of Cinema and Media Studies.
Thank you, Andreas. Welcome to the graduates of Cinema and Media Studies and to your loved ones and families. We are so happy to be able to celebrate with you today, even in this virtual format. I want to give a particular shout out to our graduating doctoral students in MAP and in CAMS for the hard work you've done to achieve this recognition. You're not graduating today into the world you imagined it to be 9 months ago when you began your last year at USC. You will face hard challenges as the world grapples with a crisis unlike any we've collectively lived through. But you were also uniquely positioned to address the complexity of this moment. The arts are vitally important as they provide solace, hope, and human connection. If you haven't seen Snoop in his car in the video listening to Let It Be, I highly recommend it. Just a small sample of the kind of improvisation that's brought us all together, even as we shelter alone. As CAM students, you also understand that the media wield immense power. From our TVs to our laptops, we now orchestrate the daily flow of our lives through video streams. Our screens powerfully influence how we view the world and how we know each other. In CAMS, you've gained vital tools to help you analyze the media that define our lives. You've learned that the media are situated in larger networks of power and control, networks that could shape how and what we think. But you also know that free and creative media are vital to any functioning democracy. Some of you want to create the media of the future. Others of you aspire to study these media. Some of you don't have any idea what you want to do, and that's okay too. Whatever your path as you leave SCA, I hope you'll use what you've learned here to contribute not only to a more entertaining world, but also to a more equitable and democratic one. We need your energy and your passion in the years ahead. Congratulations. And now back to Dean Daly.
Thank you to all of our chairs and for all the work of the faculty to get us to this day. Were we in person, it would be possible for the students to say thank you. And we'll do that when we are together. So until we are in person, I want to say once again, congratulations, class of 2020, a class like none other. Today is not the graduation you expected, of course, but I hope it will be a day that you remember as one in which you triumphed in so many ways. I want to wish you every happiness and great success. As you go forward, please be strong, be curious, be compassionate, and please stay together. You will always be one another's greatest asset. So bravo, class of 2020. You're fully prepared to move forward, and the School of Cinematic Arts alumni, almost 16,000 strong now, await you with open arms. Some of them sent their congratulations, so enjoy listening to these words of encouragement. And once again, congratulations, bravo.
Hi, my name is Jay Roach, and I'm here to say congratulations to the USC Cinema Class of 2020. I know it's a very weird, bizarre way to wrap up your time at USC, but I think you'll find that the incredible education and experiences you've had at the school will far outlast what's going on with this pandemic. And I hope you'll stay in close touch with all of the incredible classmates and advisors and people you've met throughout the program. You know this school will have your back in the future, Dean Daly and the whole team, and all of the alums and people who've ever been connected with USC. So I can't wait to see what you come up with to tell stories about this weird historical time. I hope you'll stay safe and sound, and again, just be proud of what you've accomplished. Thank your families for helping you through it, and we'll see you down the road. Stay safe and sound.
Hello, my name is John August. I'm a screenwriter and a USC alum. I graduated from the START program in 1994. So over the past couple of days, I've been thinking back towards that graduation ceremony, and I don't really remember that much about it. I know we were in the Shrine Auditorium. I remember wearing the cap and gown. I know Spielberg was the commencement speaker, and because I remember going up to shake his hand and I really wanted to say something meaningful to him, and I just flubbed it. I really have no idea what I said, but it was not coherent at all. Years later, I met Spielberg, and we just didn't acknowledge it because he had no idea I was there. Now, I do remember most about that experience was like, unlike high school graduation, which felt like a finale, it was the end of a thing. USC graduation didn't feel like the end really of anything. We'd gone through an experience together, but it was mostly a commencement. We were starting a new life in this film and television industry with all we'd learned, and most importantly, this whole community was moving forward together. In the first few years and really the decades after USC, that's been my greatest resource, is all the friends I made while I was in the START program. We relied on each other for everything, especially those first couple of years. Now, I felt a lot of uncertainty that day, and you probably feel a lot of uncertainty right now because we just don't know what's going to happen in the film and television industry for the next 6 months or the next year. But I think we can take a lot of helpful lessons from the past. Filmmaking is only about 100 years old. And in that time, we've gone through 2 world wars, a Great Depression, then television arrived, a couple more wars, a Great Recession. And through it all, we kept making stories for the screens. We kept making film and television, and people kept watching it and enjoying it. We created whole new forms of cinematic entertainment like video games and new kinds of animation. We kept making things and people kept watching things because they needed the stuff that we made. So although I can't guarantee what's going to happen next, I guarantee that there will be opportunities to make cool things, and you will be among the very first people making the very cool things in this new period. So I empathize with sort of how weird the situation is that you're graduating into, but also I'm excited for all the things you're going to get to make. I can't wait to see what those things are. But most importantly, I want to congratulate you on what you've done to this point to get you here, and just to celebrate this day. Even though you're not surrounded by the people in person, you're surrounded by a community who is so excited for what you've done and can't wait to see what you guys do next. Thanks, and enjoy.
Congratulations to the USC Cinema Class of 2020. I know this is not how you plan to celebrate graduation, but you've gotten an outstanding education, the benefits of which will outlast any crisis. The good news is that quarantining indefinitely is perfect training for making your first movie. No one's making any money. You're mostly all on your own. It feels like it's never going to end, and you're super stressed about how it's going to turn out. But the even better news for you is that we've got your back, the SCA family. Alumni, faculty, staff, and all your fellow classmates who you're bonded with forever now, having seen all their dirty living rooms on Zoom. Take a deep breath and be proud of all you've accomplished. And maybe a 300-word handwritten note to your mother sent snail mail would be lovely also. The one thing the pandemic has made abundantly clear is that there has never been a greater need for artists and storytellers like you. So go tell your stories, bring your characters to life, make your own unique magic, and I can't wait to all be back together in Norris watching your movie soon. Congratulations.
Hello, this is Freddie Wong, production alumni and class of 2008, coming at you live from this stock footage beach. I'd like to take a moment to address you, the graduating class of 2020, because I sincerely doubt that USC will let me address any graduating class in any context except this one, a video message that they are free to edit as they see fit. I want to first say congratulations on graduating, and I'd ask you to look around right now. Look to your left, look to your right on the Zoom call or however it is you're watching this, and know that statistically 1 out of 3 of you will eschew traditional filmmaking paths and become TikTok influencers, where you will drown in wealth and fame as you shill products to a teenage audience you will increasingly grow detached from. And if you're really lucky, some of you may even be embroiled in a global controversy necessitating a half-assed apology video. I know that some of you feel like you might be missing out on a more traditional graduation or a commencement, sort of out on the quad and surrounded by your friends and family cheering you on. Let me be the first to tell you, you are not missing out on anything. My God, if I could have done virtual commencement at the time, oh my goodness, we would have done that. It was so hot. I had friends pass out. And also, you can go to the bathroom and get a snack right now. We couldn't do that. I had to stand around. It's terrible. I had to coil cable. I helped set up audio for that stuff. It was awful. Do you realize how many miles of XLR I had to over under? By the way, speaking of which, I've been out in the industry for over a decade now. Still, nobody's figured it out. If it's over under or over, maybe one of you will be the one to finally solve this mystery. They want me to give you some advice. So here's the thing that's helped me more than any other thing, which is this. You can't make movies by yourself, unless you're Stan Brakhage. If you're not Stan Brakhage, then you need to lean on your friends. Frankly, the best way to advance your career is to be alongside your classmates, because the SCA family is huge. But let's be frank, I'm sure you're cool. I don't know who you are, but the people sitting next to you, or I guess not sitting next to you, the people you graduated with, they do. Lean on them. Things are tough right now, and I know what that feels like. When my class graduated in 2008, that was into the housing crisis and the worst recession since the Great Depression. Now, to be clear, what's going on with you folks? Probably way worse. But one thing I have found is when things are tough, those are when opportunities for new blood, such as yourself, to break in and break through. Back in 2008, seeing doors close around me, that's what drove me and my friends to online video, and what an illustrious career that has been. Let's see, what else? Make sure you thank your families, especially if they paid for your tuition. Don't skimp on sound, people. Don't say fix it in post unless you know exactly what fix it in post entails. Congratulations. Fight on, and I look forward to all the great TikTok videos and brand integrations coming from 1 out of 3 of you in the near future.
Hi, I'm Pete Siegel, class of '84, director of Tommy Boy, 51st Dates, and Get Smart. I want to say congratulations to all of you who are graduating this year. I know it's not exactly the way you wanted to go out. I mean, these are unprecedented times, that's for sure, but just think of all the amazing stories you're going to be able to tell having gone through something like this. Everybody should really lean on the SCA family as you go out into the world trying to get your first film set up and your first jobs. The faculty, the alumni, and your fellow colleagues can all be very helpful. So please utilize the USC Mafia, as they're called, and be safe and fight on. Congratulations.
Hi, it's Rick Famuyiwa, graduating class of 1996. I studied production and critical studies, which I guess they call cinema and media studies now. But wanted to send a big shout out and congratulations to the class of 2020. Look, I get it. This is not the circumstance you thought you would be graduating with me and a bunch of other people on their iPhones sending you their best wishes. But did wanted to just say congratulations. And also that there will always be a need for storytelling and great storytellers, no matter how it's made, the media, or where it's distributed. And your class and your generation of filmmakers and storytellers is going to be defining this moment and others moving forward. So now more than ever, want to say congrats and leave you with these two words: fight on.
Hello, class of 2020. You did it, baby. My name's Kyle Mooney. I graduated critical studies in the year 2007, and I just want to say congrats. That's so awesome that you've done what you've done. I know this is not how you envisioned your university experience coming to an end, but I trust that you're all resourceful and creative people, and you'll turn this experience into something amazing and awesome. And also I want you to know that I have your back. I'm here for you, and so is the entire SCA community, alumni, faculty, staff, and obviously so are your friends and fellow students who were along with you on this journey. I know that my pals who I went to school with have my back, and I'm still unfortunately hanging with them. But break a leg with everything. I know you're going to do some awesome stuff, and I can't wait to see it. Take care.
Hey guys, my name is Anish Chaganty. I'm a writer and director. Made a movie called Searching a couple years ago, but more importantly, graduated from the USC Film School in 2013 in production. Wanted to tell you guys two things. Number one, congratulations on graduating. That's awesome. And number two, my condolences on not being able to have a normal graduation. That sucks. Trust me, I know the feeling of having something pulled from your calendar when you thought it was going to be there for so long. Just last week, my second film was supposed to release around the world in theaters, and now we have no idea when or if it'll ever come out. It's a really, really not fun feeling, and I totally feel you guys. A couple good things to look out for. Number one, you're not losing the people that you're graduating with. Without a doubt, the most important element of going to film school, especially USC for me, was the people that I graduated with. All of my closest creative collaborators, from the person I write with to the people I produce with, or the people who produce the things that I direct, to my editors, to the composers, to the DPs, to the PD, like every single department of people went to USC with me. And I see that with other graduates and other peers as well. Everybody works with each other. And without a doubt, that is the thing that will sort of stay with you no matter if you have a normal graduation or if you don't. So just kind of keep that in mind as you go forward, that you're not losing that. And that ultimately is the most important thing of graduating from USC, at least what I think. Congratulations on graduating. Again, sorry you didn't get a normal one, but I'll see you and your films and hopefully be jealous of them very, very soon. Congrats.
Hi graduates, this is Jennifer Todd, and I want to congratulate you on graduating from USC Film School. You should be incredibly proud of all your hard work. I know these are difficult times, but they will pass, and we look forward to seeing all your incredible work in the future. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Hi, I'm John Wells, Peter Stark Program of 1982. Congratulations on surviving USC and on surviving the first 5 months of 2020. The old Chinese curse goes, may you live in interesting times, and they don't get much more interesting than these. But this too shall pass, and you're graduating into an extraordinarily dynamic and exciting time in our industry. The opportunity to tell unique stories has never been greater. The need for new and unique voices and visual perspectives, your voice and your perspective is great. Film and pay cable television, broadcast television, streaming. We're stuck at home temporarily, but you're graduating into a decades-long career at a time of exceptional need for storytelling and for storytellers. Join us, make us better, tell us your stories. We're here and waiting. We need you. Congratulations.
Hey, class of 2020. Congratulations. This is Kelly Colley Rhodes.
And this is Brian Vincent Rhodes.
And we're here to tell you.
Congratulations.
What a crazy year this is. But you are the special class. And we know that you're going to do great things. And we're here to say that we're here to support you.
Definitely, definitely. You guys have gone through an extraordinary experience, and part of those things is they make you better storytellers.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of stories to pull on now. And now is the time. This is actually a good thing. You can sit down and write. You can create. This is the time to do it so that when we all get back out there as the Trojan Mafia, we can hit the ground running with these new ideas.
Totally, totally. So utilize all your resources stay connected to your friends. They need it now more than ever. Love on your classmates, talk to your faculty, and
fight on.
Fight on.
You're not gonna fight on? Fight on.